This is Susan Wilbanks with BlendedInsight.com. I am a holistic and integrative healing arts practitioner, an intuitive, and an energy healer. In this podcast, I share tips, tools, and suggestions that have helped me along my path in hopes of inspiring and helping you along yours. Let's get started with today's podcast topic. Hello, bright and beautiful soul. Thank you so much for joining me on another podcast. I had the opportunity to watch the sunrise this morning while enjoying coffee, sitting in solitude, journaling. It was absolute bliss. And as most of you know, I'm not big on journaling, but I am big on writing down what comes to me through spirit. So it's not that I'm journaling my own thoughts, it's journaling what is coming through me. So that was absolutely amazing. And my body is a little sore. Last week, I tried an assisted stretch. So we have lots of these places popping up here, but I went to a place called Stretch Lab just to see what it was all about. There is a book called The Genius of Flexibility. I've had it for years, and it talks about how you watch an animal, a cat specifically. If you watch a cat wake up from a nap, the way they stretch, they tense their body and they stretch at the same time. And this is how you create more flexibility and you break up the fascia tissues. So I was thinking that a place like this was probably similar to The Genius of Flexibility. I was just curious about it. I'm really flexible, but I tend to overexercise. And so my muscles get really sore. So I thought, man, this will really help. What I mean to tell you, I got up and I felt like I was Gumby. I don't know if you all remember Gumby. It was an animated clay cartoon when I was growing up. But I'm like, okay, this feels similar. My body feels similar to the way it feels when I do gravity yoga. But when I woke up this morning, I got out of bed and thought, ooh, I'm sore. Oh, just from stretching. So that's just my indicator that I need to get back to doing more deep stretching and spending more time on that, working on my flexibility and lengthening those muscles. And you might be wondering, Susan, why are you telling us this? We don't care about your flexibility and your stretching. And I'm telling you this because I intentionally am seeking out different practices than what I normally do so that I can keep myself in my body and keep myself grounded during this time. I have shared in previous podcasts that a lot of people will say, I want to evolve quickly. I want Kundalini. I want to awaken this. I want to awaken this. Pump your brakes. And I'm speaking from experience. And the reason why is because when we evolve spiritually, our physical body must absorb that energy. When I first learned Reiki years ago, I don't do Reiki anymore in my private practice. I use pranic healing, and a lot of people get hung up on the energy healing modality. In all honesty, I've always blended stuff with my Reiki. Even on my YouTube channel when I first started, I've learned so many healing modalities over the years. I might call it Reiki for something. That's what people recognize, and that's the predominant thing that I'm using. But I've always used other things. And what's so funny is people get their mind involved where they're like, oh, the energy's different now because it's not Reiki. I need it to be Reiki. Me as a practitioner, I've grown. I've learned other things. My aura has expanded drastically from when I first started. And I have teachers and healers and other people who are far along on the path to confirm that for me. And so as I learn new things, those modalities don't go away. The energy that I learned and the energy that I incorporated to expand is still in me as the soul, as the body that is demonstrating these healing modalities. But the actual mechanism that I'm learning, if there's something that's coming through stronger and more powerful, I want to go with that because that's going to be the cleaner and quicker vibration that I'm working with at that time. And this is the way that I evolve. This is the way that I grow. This is the way that I serve. And I'm okay if people are no longer drawn to it because they're caught up in the actual modality or their name. I'm a vibe person. So when we're doing healing work, it's so funny to me when people try to overthink healing work. I need to know specifically what you're doing and how you're doing it. Why don't you relax and go into your heart center and see if you actually feel the vibe? What do you feel from it? Because one of the ways that I've learned everything that I'm learning is by going with my intuition and feeling into the vibe. It's not by overthinking it. I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't attach myself to my soul and go where I am drawn. So when people are like, why did you change the title? Or is this Reiki? Or what is this? Or what? Okay, so you're in your ego because our ego is attached to our brain. Our intuition is attached to our soul. This work that I am doing in energy healing realm and the intuitive realm, that's soul work. And so that's what we gather here to do. And so if I were to start with someone who didn't know anything about energy healing or anything about what I'm doing, and I gave them everything that I have learned right now, they would be having an extreme crisis within their body. And I'm speaking from experience. So I tend to learn things quickly and I accelerate quickly. So I tend to learn something, I focus my energy on it, I grab it, and then I move on. And when I was first in the energy healing realm, I went to Reiki master level fairly quickly. I was practicing daily. I was taking people. My clientele was growing really, really quickly. And I was just practicing, but my soul recognized that I had done this before. It was very innate for me, even with pranic healing. So a lot of the things that as soon as I got my attunements and started learning, a lot of the things that I knew, they didn't teach me. And so even the person that was teaching me was like, oh my gosh, like, how did you know that? And I said, I don't know. And that's the thing, when you're in your intuition, it is an inner knowingness. You don't know, your brain doesn't know how you know, you just know. And so I got very sick in my body, actually. I started getting really, really weak, like overly sensitive around people. It was really, really upsetting. I couldn't go into hospital settings without getting so weak. I felt like I was going to pass out. And I didn't know. I was just new. I was a beginner. And so I was going to the doctor, going to alternative practitioners, naturopaths, chiropractics, herbalists, doing cleanses. I mean, my Lord, they sent me to, a neurologist. Oh, does she have MS? What does she have? And guess what? I had nothing. Nobody could have any type of answers. And what I learned later is that my body was trying to integrate this huge energy upgrade that I did. And I was moving too quickly. And at that time, Reiki didn't teach shields. They didn't even teach cleaning. Reiki modality is about sending the energy. So essentially you flood someone with energy and you try to flood enough to where it cleans out dirty energy. That's the principles of the Reiki that I learned. So I had to learn about shielding and cleaning, actually cleaning the aura before I put energy in. And that's something I do in pranic healing. And I started learning all of these other ways to help my physical body catch up with this energy upgrade. And right now, the collective is going through a huge energy upgrade. And you may be feeling things in your physical body. You may be feeling discombobulated. You might be feeling other people's stuff. It's a massive upgrade on the planet. And you want to take really good care of your physical body during this time so that you can actually integrate the work. That's another reason why, if you ever look on my YouTube channel on healings, people will come on there and go, can you do this specific healing for me for this very intense issue that I have? And the answer is book a private session. And it's not because I want you to work with a private practitioner. It isn't about money. It's not even about exchange. It's about responsibility. What I put out, I'm responsible for. I have a karmic tie to everything that I put out on this channel, the way I act in the world. I have a karmic responsibility. So I can't just go and blast the internet with the most high intensity type of energy that I could possibly fathom when I don't know who's going to listen to it, who's going to get it. They could have a massive upgrade from this healing that I did. So when I'm doing general healings on my YouTube channel, I ask for the energy to integrate slowly, for it to integrate at the level that the person can receive. And yes, I have a focused intent, but I can't just dump all of the energy that's coming through me on someone that's just starting. And so that's why I always say work with a private practitioner. And then people will comment and say, hey, I have all this going on. Can you tell me what to do? I can't, because I'm not working with you privately, and it would be irresponsible. And we're on a public platform and other people are going to read that, and it gets kind of sticky for me. And a lot of people, they're out there on the internet and they don't take it as seriously, or they just give these suggestions, or maybe they're taking the time to try to tune in. But a lot of times someone's username or what they're actually using is not really who they are. And I'm just not going to do that. I want to work with people privately who are ready to go to the next level, who want the healing work the way that I do. Because guess what? I get a healing every single month. I invest in myself. I invest in the work. I support the work. And yes, I love things that are available on the internet. I absolutely love it. It's a good way to know if you're vibing with the person, if you like the work that they do, if you're interested. And I love all of those things. But for the deep work, you want to work with someone privately. And I said all that to say, be careful. about how quickly you are trying to climb. Make sure that your body can integrate it. And a lot of times what I'm finding is that people are trying to massively upgrade quickly because it's almost an escapism. It's an escapism because they are uncomfortable where they are, and it comes out of impatience. So I'm impatient where I am, so I want to massively upgrade so that I can get out of all this and feel better. And usually the miraculous changes in the divine energy, it doesn't come through trying to force and climb hard. This type of work is an allowing. It's an allowing type of energy. It's very soft, it's gentle, but it's extremely powerful. And the way that you can slow yourself down and get into the flow is by focusing on all the things that are going right in your world. Because I know externally there are a lot of things going wrong in the world. You know, when I am just in daily passing with people, daily conversation, oftentimes, they'll talk about, oh, the world's falling apart. I agree. There is a lot going on in the world. However, what's going on in your personal world? Because if you're in divine flow, if you're centered in gratitude, if you are taking things moment by moment, true mindfulness, we are in the present moment. What's going right now? I'm safe right now. I am in a beautiful home that I absolutely love and adore. I have a beautiful relationship with my daughter. We are so connected. I just adore her. I have an animal that I adore. I love my neighbors. I love where I live. I get to look out at the most majestic and gorgeous mountains that I've ever seen. I have beautiful people to connect with through my healing work, through my community. I have amazing friends. I have things that can keep me comfortable, that can make me laugh. Little things. I love coffee. I love Ely coffee. That's the brand that I really, really like. I get to sip beautiful Ely coffee in solitude. Oh, I'm getting my senses back 100%. I had COVID, and that word, the bots will come after me. So yeah, my daughter and I both got that when we were traveling back from my father passing away. So we were traveling a lot, and your immune system plummets when you're in that level of grief. I mean, the level of grief that I was experiencing, the deep sobbing, just the stress, it crumbled me. It really, really crumbled me. And my daughter too, because my daughter is watching me crumble, and it's something she'd never witnessed before, even through relationships and leaving. I've always been strong, never really got me. But with my dad, because of the malpractice and all this other stuff that was going on, it was extremely grief inducing. And when you are grieving and you're tired, your immune system plummets. So my daughter ended up getting it. She gave it to me. And guess what? We didn't even know we had it. It was just like mild allergies for us. And then I noticed the allergies weren't going away. When we got back to Colorado, the allergies didn't go away. And so I was like, that's so weird. And then I lost my sense of smell and taste. And I'm like, oh, shoot, was that COVID? I never went and got tested because why would I? It just doesn't make any sense. The tests are mostly inaccurate, but I'm not going to go into that. Doesn't matter. So anyway, we both lost our senses, and it's taken a little while to get them back. But honestly, so what? There's so many other things to focus on. I am so grateful to still be here. And every day I can find something to just absolutely look at all the things that are going right. Despite the losses, the changes, the shifts, the way that people are reacting to this, it's kind of an element of showing you who is really in your tribe, who is really your person. And that's the other thing I'm really grateful for, because through all this, the people that I am not in alignment with, they've fallen away, or I've chosen to not engage with them anymore. But the people that I am in alignment with, we've gotten so close, and I'm so, so grateful. And I just continue to focus on all of the things that are going well. And when you stay in that vibration predominantly, you begin to magnetically pull in other things that match that vibration. So the more that you can focus on every moment, the things that are going well. What are the things that I learned? I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for that. I mean, you can go on forever, and that's what I do. And I really believe every experience is an opportunity. So when I lost my senses, I was like, oh, this is so interesting. Okay, well, I guess I don't really need to worry about what I'm eating, or because I can't taste it anyway. So let me just use this opportunity to focus on other things. And that's what I did. And then I'm like, well, let me see here. How can I shift this? Because if I shift it in myself, I can help other people shift it. And for me, that's the whole purpose of me being here. That is the way that I choose to look at things. If this happened to me, let me lean into the solution. Let me get the guidance. Let me find what's going to work. And then I can share it with other people and help them along the way. Instead of going into, oh, this is happening to me, I'm a victim, oh, woe is me. That's not going to serve you. It's not going to serve anyone else. And so Spirit told me to start drinking eucalyptus tea, using eucalyptus essential oils. So I did those things. There was a couple other things that I tried. My acupuncturist is amazing. He's also a Chinese herbalist, so he gave me some things. And at the end of the day, I said, this is just going to take time. It's going to be what it's going to be. Thank goodness that my body is healthy. I'm so grateful for my immune system because I have natural immunity now. My daughter and I had our antibodies checked. I mean, it's been since, the end of June? They're so high still. So it just more or less confirmed what Spirit told me all along about just letting my natural immunity take really good care of me. And so I was so grateful for that. And I just focus there. Spend as much time as you can on that. And the more that I stay in the vibration of everything that's going right, the more Spirit gives me direction about other things to focus on, where I can serve, how I can make the best of this time in life. I mean, it's a weird time. The darkness wants you to focus on everything going wrong. When you do that, you become a part of this massive dark energy that is circulating the world because we align with our most predominant vibration. And because there is so much darkness and ugliness and tyranny and wanting to control and people thinking they know what's best for you when they're not in your body and they're not your soul, when you start to sink, that's what you attach to. And that's why it starts to get out of control. It snowballs. So your charge and my charge is to stay connected to all the things that are beautiful and all the things that are going right in your own individual soul truth, and loving people where they are and having compassion and staying in alignment with all that is going right. So that is all I had to offer. Let's go into a healing. So you can just uncross your arms and legs, relax, focus on your breathing. And I'm just flooding you with beautiful golden energy to ground you deep into the center of the earth. Okay, and so it is. I hope that was helpful. And if you have left me a review on iTunes, I so appreciate it. And if you're subscribed to my newsletter, thank you so much. And thank you for just keeping this platform positive. Thank you for showing up, shining your light. Thank you for just seeing people where they are and sending lots of love and compassion and doing your part to keep your own vibration high so that you can impact and influence others to do the same. I want to wish you a beautiful week. Take care. Bye-bye.